To help protect your baby, it's important that all their feeding equipment is sterilised, whether using formula or expressed milk. Nina, mum to Imogen, is going to talk through the main methods she uses for sterilising, and she'll be joined by Wendy, our midwife, to share any tips they've learnt.
You need to sterilise your baby's bottles and teats to avoid harmful bacteria. At this stage, your baby's immune system is still quite immature and it's still developing. We're going to have a look at how we are sterilising and the different methods of sterilising bottles and teats. So Nina, how old is your daughter Imogen now?
She's 8 months now, just over 8 months. We've relatively recently moved on from breastfeeding, so I've been using a steriliser for a little while actually. I was doing some expressing before that, and I used the steriliser to sterilise the breast pump and the bottles and teats then, so I'm kind of used to using one of these.
Well, there's a few things to point out, so we'll just go through those as you're doing it.
Great.
Okay.
So I'm just going to get rid of this leftovers. Give it a good slosh. This bottle brush came with the steriliser.
Oh, right, okay. Can I just stop you there just a second? Do you find that sometimes if Imogen sort of takes all her feed, that you can sometimes get a bit of a residue of the milk around the bottom? Have you noticed?
Yeah, you do actually.
Because sometimes it's quite good just to make sure you've just gone right around the edge there, actually, just to clean it well, and so you've got rid of all of that.
Try and squirt the teat out.
Okay. And the other thing, actually, when you're talking about the teat, sometimes what can happen is the milk can sort of congeal inside it, and sometimes it's quite difficult to get it out. So sometimes it's worth just turning it inside out and then giving it another really good wash on the inside as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just finally a little quick rinse under the tap to get rid of the bubbles. So I'll just pop the lid on here. And this one takes about 80 ml of water in the bottom. So yeah, so they're all different. So just pop that water in there. Pop the base on, line it up. Pop my bottle in.
And I notice you've got some tongs on this top tray here, and that's quite important to sterilise those as well with it, because when you take the bottles out of the steriliser, it's important not to touch the insides of them and also the teats. And I think if you need to have to touch them, then you know it's good to use the tongs, isn't it?
Yeah, so they came with it, so we put them on.
So
that just slots on the top, and then I just pop it on.
Well, so this is finished already.
Yeah, it's pretty good, this one.
Yes. So I think it's important that you perhaps let it cool down first before you actually open it and take the bottles out, because you could potentially burn yourself. You have to be careful with them, don't you?
On that one a few times when I'm in a rush.
And how long do they stay sterile for in this?
This one, they're good for 6 hours actually.
I think some don't last as long as that.
This microwave one, I think, is only 3.
Okay, so that's quite a difference, really, isn't it? Yeah. There are 2 other methods of sterilising babies' bottles. The first method is with cold water, where you use sterilising tablets, and the other is actually boiling with a pan on the stove. The important thing to remember with both of these methods is that the bottles must be fully submerged into the water to avoid any air bubbles being trapped.
For more information about sterilising, including the cold water method, have a look at the Aptamil website's step-by-step guide. You'll find the forums online too, and they're great for hearing more about other mums' experiences and sharing yours. There's also a team of experts at the Aptamil Care Line who are on hand to help you with any other questions you may have.